I don't understand why I continue to open my mouth and talk. Why? It's been this way my entire life. I honestly would not, I like, and this is not an insult to anyone on this planet, but I would not be surprised if, like, one day a doctor says that I have like Asperger's or something, because there has to be an explanation to why I'm the way I am, and bipolar disorder does not explain everything. I'm not gonna make it. I'm really not gonna make it. I can't be around people. I can't work. I can't support myself. I mean, I could if I was homeless. Like, if I had a car, I know that I would be able to afford, like, gas. I'd be able to afford insurance and stuff like that. I saw this video on BuzzFeed where this guy kind of went through this crazy moment, and he decided to live in his car. Like, it was a decision that he made, and his life was easier because of it. He got a gym membership, a monthly gym membership. He used the showers there because he had a membership, and, you know, he could afford everything else, and his life was easier. And I feel like, sometimes I feel like I can do that. If it wasn't, honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that I had animals, I'd probably do that. I probably would have done that a long time ago, because my life would be so much easier. Because there is nothing for me. Like, I'm never going to have a job. I'm never going to be able to finish school. And this might sound like a self-esteem issue or a negative issue. It is a logical, practical process. I've been thinking about it since I got the hell out of that marriage and all the PTSD shit started coming. I started to really look at myself. Now, and I'm not saying this to try to make anybody feel bad about me or, you know, try to help me, because no type of help would suffice. Even if someone gave me a house and paid for it, like, you know, some millionaire or something like that, it's not going to fix things. And I'm not looking for sympathy. And I never have. I'm just expressing how I feel. And I've thought this for, even on days where I'm feeling good and happy and I'm not depressed, I still think logically. I'm like, it's not going to happen. Everything's better with jumper pajamas. Look, it has ears. It has ears. This was a Christmas gift from someone I know at the dog park, and I I would have waited until Christmas, but Derek just was like, "This is for you. Look here," and like gave them to me. So I'm like, well, and then and I guess all is well anyway, because she was already asking if it fit. Like, texting, she kept texting Derek over and over again, does it fit? Does it fit? Does she like him? So I guess she meant for me to try him. Look, I have footies. I have not had footy pajamas in probably over 20 years. The last time I had footy pajamas, I was literally a kid, but they weren't actually, I don't think they were full, like, head to toe. No, they weren't. They weren't jumpers. It was 2 pieces, but they were still footy. The bottoms were still footy bottoms. But I remember I had to cut the bottoms off because they didn't fit. I had to cut them because, you know, I was still young, so I was still growing, and I think I had a growth spurt, and then I had to and my mom cut the feet off or something. I like them. I especially like the ears. The ears are, that's like the best part right there, is the ears. Stuff like that makes me happy. It's always like things like that that make me happy. That's nothing. This made my day, because it was like a really long, just horrific day. So I was pretty bummed out, and then here came the pajamas. And you might be thinking, oh, it couldn't have been that bad of a day if the stupid pair of pajamas makes you feel better. No, it was a pretty bad day. But I mean, by the end of the day, I was kind of over it, so I was feeling a little bit better, but then these made me feel better. And then plus I bleached my hair, and I don't know, I think it came out more orange than it did the last time, but I might just be thinking that because it's been so long since I've seen yellow hair. Because I'm probably going to do what I did last time, which is I'm going to probably just keep it blonde for a couple weeks until you can see roots, and then that's when I'm going to put dye over it. But it's so funny because that dye, that atomic turquoise, actually wasn't coming out of my hair. I was just getting trimming the dead edges every certain amount of weeks, but it wasn't actually fading. There's only it was a couple places it was fading, and it was towards the the finer parts of my hair, all on the edges and the back of my hair, the nape of my hair around the edges. That was really the only places that it had started fading and you could start to see blonde. But everything else, it did not fade at all. Besides the edges, I have no idea how long it would have taken for that dye to rinse out. I'm actually very impressed because I've used dyes that have come out in 3 weeks, and it's just ridiculous. I had planned to do it pretty much from the beginning of the day, and just all heck broke loose around here, so I didn't even want to leave the room, so I kind of just stayed in the room all day. I made sure yesterday, I looked at my hair, made sure Derek got 99% of the bleached hair out, because I didn't want to bleach on top of bleach and then have my hair coming out in clumps. It's so weird. I feel so weird having the yellow hair or the blonde hair, because it was weird the first time. But then I dyed it, and it feels like a lifetime since I had it blonde, and it's just weird looking at it blonde again. And Derek's like, you should keep it like that, because I didn't plan on keeping the blonde like I did last time for a couple weeks, because it's too late to put the virgin snow on it to try to get some of the brass out and then dye it. And I personally just don't like sleeping in dye. I'm paranoid that it's going to get all over the place, even with the plastic caps. I usually don't. But Derek was like, oh my gosh, it looks great. You should keep it like that. It looks beautiful. Don't put dye on it. And I'm like, okay, fine. So I'll probably keep it for, I think last time, I think it was about 2 or 3 weeks before I put dye on it. And that was only because you could start seeing the roots through the blonde. The roots don't show through other colors.